Yo, 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 it's the Hub. I'm Sam.
I'm at
And today we're going to be doing,
Prison Break.
yeah, reviewing the final episode of Progeny. If I could describe this in a word, um, flaccid. And I'll tell you why. There are a couple sick bits. I'll take my sweet out because I don't want to be controversial. So, the gloves where he does that and it's his
That's
face.
cool.
That was sick.
That's all I've got.
Yeah, yes. That's the blood. That was kind of cool. Where he plants the blood and it's in the kind of jar. That was cool. The misdirection with the kind of whole zoo thing. That was good. And they kind of I'm sitting there thinking, right, is that the only code on the eyes then? Just that one sentence. I'm thinking they made such a big deal. I was expecting like there's going to be like a massive thing in the tattoos, but it was just like one sentence, one quote. That was cool. The rest was a little disappointing. So yeah, we start off and it's the bug-eyed guy who gets shot. Van Gogh, I think his name is. So he gets popped through the neck. The kind of Jacob stuff where where he kind of brainwashes a little kid on the phone and is like, "Leave my dad alone." That was annoying. Lincoln actually did get shot. I thought there was just going to be a grazing thing or something like that.
But then even that came to nothing.
Yeah. So they kind of take him in and then vanish. And then they're doing this whole big plan. The whole teabagging his son, that was kind of good. Like at the start, where he's standing there and they're like in the rain and they're discussing stuff, and it's like, so tell me how you real feel about me, Scofield. And then like his boys just laughing. Like that
Yeah.
was good.
All right.
Teabags.
I didn't mind the awkward attempt at bonding, but I guess we'll save it for the end. But where it went to, it's
Yeah.
like it's kind of my feelings on the entire episode. It's like everything's like so rushed.
It,
I
it
don't know why.
it was dumb. I agree with you. It's so like blah blah blah. It's like a chicken chase all going round and stuff like that. Trying to get the boy, misdirection and stuff like that. The Luca Abruzzi stuff, that was like
Who's
Lincoln.
that?
Do you know the drug guy who like
Oh,
Lincoln's
oh,
on beef
oh.
with?
Right. What was the point? Why introduce him an episode before the finale if you're just going to wrap it up with that one quick little scene like that?
It,
Why even bother?
it was a way to get him into the USA on the down low and stuff like
Oh,
that, and it was a kind of a cool like harken back to Abruzzi. No Sucre, no Sino. I was thinking, why wouldn't they have them? This is meant to be like the final episode of the whole thing, wrap it up. And to be honest, I preferred the original finale. Yeah,
that's my
Michael.
biggest problem right here. It didn't even feel like an end to the show.
Yeah, no, that's what I
Let's
mean.
skip. I mean, we'll skip. I'll skip it. Let's skip right to the last scene. I'm sat there thinking that's the end.
Yeah,
It doesn't even look like it. They're just sat there. It's not like it's one big happy family. I mean, that's what it kind of looked like, but it wasn't. It's just Michael looking at the four of them there, and that's it.
mm.
It ends. But no, it ends with teabag or something, doesn't it?
Oh yeah,
That's your end to the show.
yeah, it's
What's the
bankers.
point in coming back? You might as well left him dead.
That's what I mean. That's what I mean. The original finale where they kind of Michael's doing his like video call and is like, look, I was dying anyway, and then we see how everyone's gone off to kind of live their lives, all the other characters. That's what I was expecting for this, but we didn't have any of that. That I mean, not C-Note wasn't in it, Sucre wasn't in it. Didn't any ask any questions of where they are, kind of, you know what I mean. So yeah, I mean, Whip gets killed. That was kind of, I kind of
Oh,
like the
but
smartness where she whipped out the other gun and popped him, but that was like annoying. But
yeah,
it's kind of the it kind of
teabag snap on her neck was cool, but it's like they've met. They met the last episode, and now suddenly it's some big "oh no, you murdered my son" thing. It's too quick. You've had this entire bloody season to do this if you want to do it, but instead they meet in one episode and they pull the trigger in the next. It's too damn quick.
but I think Teabag was very like the kind of guy that he is, and he was way into it. You can tell it completely, kind of like his demeanour about him. It is way into it. The thought of being a father and stuff like that, and then I mean, is a I think it was kind of good because like the whole whip thing did kind of play into like that's a kind of teabag reaction. It's like, yo, don't do anything, just wait, be patient, don't do anything, and then he just loses it and goes for it anyway. That's classic, like something teabag would do. So the kind of parallels between that were okay. But yeah, I was annoyed that he was shot, and I was kind of, yeah, it's probably the best place for him, but I was like annoyed that like Teabag kind of ended up like in prison again at the end of it for, I guess, snapping the girl's neck. That was annoying because I mean clearly you could have justified that and got it's like, yo, she shot him so I snapped her neck. She was a rogue agent going around shooting people. She was part of this 21 Void, so I would have thought he would have walked on that. The fact he kind of ended up in prison again, that was annoying. Yeah, we kind of ended up in the same cell as Poseidon, but I mean, they could have offed him anyway with Teabag. So yeah, they didn't explain. They didn't explain a ton of it as well. Like, oh, is he just kind of there to like do him in, or is he actually like properly in prison? How long for? Whatever. They just kind of plop him in there, and you think, oh, okay then.
The worst thing about this, at least in my opinion, has been the villains. They've all been set. They've gone for this like the classic, like superhero dynamic with Poseidon of like it's kind of like the hero but a slight inverse, right? He's kind of like Michael, except he's evil. And then, but that hasn't worked. And they've got, I don't know whether it's a lack of charisma on the actor's part. I don't know whether it's bad writing, but eh. Then they've got, and also I think the fact that it was so obvious he was Poseidon so early on, but they just dragged that crap out. And then you add those, evil Mulder and Scully. Nothing to the two of them, especially her.
Yeah, she was annoying.
She
wasn't nice to look at. I guess in the end I kind of liked the guy, because he was like, this is whack and stuff like that. It's kind of like, it's kind of literally exactly like, I guess in the first season with Paul Kellerman and his chubby, he had a guy as well who was like chubby, and they go around and he was questioning him, and then Paul Kellerman ends up like, I'm trying to think whether he shoots him or he ditches him down like an old well, but something to the same effect of that, so it ends up shooting him exactly the same as
I
she
kind
does
of
with
liked him too as well, but it's like I could have told you this was going to happen in the second episode. A lot of the writing to me, I think ultimately my biggest problem is the writing. Like it's so obvious where everything was going to go.
I still don't get why they gave it a 9-episode order and not just a 10 one. That to me is like weird. I don't, because I mean, I guess another episode, if they did it okay, would have been good. But to like kind of just develop people in the final like countdown or rush down to the episode. But yeah, I way preferred the original finale. Yeah, Michael was dead, but I mean it wrapped it up perfectly. Whack, very disappointing. There were like a couple cool things that I was like, oh, but as it kind of crept to the end, I was thinking, come on then, let's have like a sick reunion, because they're in the perfect position to do it, because they're actually for the first time properly like in the clear, all cool, you know what I mean, and like it's just kind of them in a field. Sheba looked good.
Right, but
that's a positive.
You talked about Lincoln. It's like, what was this guy's life like then? I know you said he had a kid and everything, but like it seems like that's also a big issue with me as well. Is it doesn't seem like the 7 years have actually passed. It feels like it could. Obviously, I know the kid's aged, but aside from that, it feels like it could have been 6 months later. I don't feel the amount of time that's gone by.
It was disappointing.
Mm-hmm.
It's annoying because it's a sick show. I mean, if they kind of rebooted it, like without them and just did it with other people, like kind of rebooted it but kind of way different and stuff like that. I mean, because it's a cool concept for a TV show and it was really smart, but I mean, yeah, this wasn't good. I mean, really, they should have just rebooted it. Just had someone else who was like kind of the same circumstances but a little different, kind of sharp, clever, and stuff like that, and done that.
It felt like it didn't know what it wanted to be. It's like it didn't know whether it wanted to be a continuation or a big epilogue. And in the end, it wound up being neither.
ball back. It was kind of like a mix between, I guess, the first, kind of a transition from the first season to the fourth season, like a kind of conspiracy thing leading up to like all this government stuff. Is pretty much like that. But yeah, the way it ended, oof, it was whack. It was whack. Don't touch it again. Just bring it. Just if you're gonna touch it again, reboot it. Use different characters. Kind of the same premise, but kind of make it real cool and edgy and stuff like that. That's what they should have done. They shouldn't have, because the original finale was sick. You know what I mean? This. So yeah, let's talk numbers.
Hold on.
I'm giving it a 4.
Wow, you really were disappointed. Yeah. I'll give it.
Whack. I know it's a surprise
I'll
because
give it a 6. I think it was competent. Yeah.
After this, I'm gonna look at other people's reviews and stuff like that, like the major things, and see what they say. Because it's got to have been a disappointment. It upset me. It angered me. It really did. I just couldn't believe it. Couldn't believe it. So yeah, I'm Sam.
I'm Matt.
AKA disappointed, and we'll see you for our other stuff.
Strong finish.
I'm holding back the tears.